All right, in this video, I'm going to be going over the 7 most profitable Instagram theme page niches in 2025. And you might be wondering, who is this guy and why should I listen to him, which is pretty fair, to be honest. So for those who don't know me yet, my name is Pasha. I've been growing, monetizing, and automating Instagram theme pages for the past few years now. And here on the screen, you could see my personal brand on Instagram. You could check it out if you want. I post some pretty cool stuff on there. And here are also a couple of my theme pages. But yeah, without further ado, we could pretty much just get straight into it. So, one of the most common questions that I do get asked is, Pasha, which niche should I start my theme page in? Or, Pasha, what are the best niches on Instagram for theme pages? And it's a great question because it's really, really important for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's essentially the first step in your theme page journey is just picking your niche and figuring out what you want to build your page and brand around in the first place. And since it's that first step, a lot of people like really overthink it and they don't know where to start with it. So then when they like sort of start thinking about the niche and they are confused and they are unsure, then it sort of holds them back from proceeding with, the other steps later on in the process, right? And it just prevents them from really even getting started, right? And then also it's a pretty long-term decision as well. So I understand why people have trouble with it because, your brand is pretty much going to be built off of what niche you end up choosing. And you're going to be sticking with it for a while. You're not going to want to have to change it after like 6 months into it, etc. So it's going to be a pretty long-term decision that you want to make sure you get right, right? So yeah, so I'm going to be covering the 7 best, most profitable Instagram theme page niches, okay? And before I get into the actual niches, I want to go over this right here, which is value-based niches are superior to entertainment-based niches. So I'm sure you guys have seen some niches on Instagram, such as memes or like catching child predators or car crashes or movie clips, like these types of niches that are more like entertainment rather than value-based, like actually helping people. You know what I mean? So I know a lot of people ask me whether they should get into like posting memes or movie clips or these types of entertainment niches. And I always discourage that. And I'm going to go over the reasons why in a little bit. But just keep in mind that overall, value based niches are going to be superior to entertainment based niches. And if you don't know what value based niches are, all 7 on the list that I'm going to be going over are value based niches. So these are just going to be some of the best, most profitable ones that you can choose from. All right. And of course, by no means are these 7 niches like the only ones you could choose from. It's still really important to choose something that you have personal interest in and let's say a little bit of passion for, because at the end of the day, if you're creating content or building a brand in a certain niche and there's someone else who is also doing the same thing, the person who always is going to be doing better, innovating more, and getting higher performing results is the person who has a personal vested interest in that niche, because it just allows you to be more creative, more innovative, and overall, it's a long-term thing again, guys. So, you know, to stick with it over a long period of time, it helps to like it a little bit. Just think about it that way. Um, but yeah, so I'm going to go over why this is the case. So here I've built out this little compare and contrast list, going over some different topics here, comparing value and entertainment based niches. So, first off, we could go over growth potential. So, value based niches have some great growth potential. And to be honest, the entertainment based niches also do have really good growth potential. They're great for getting tons of views, getting followers, and just growing a solid page in terms of following, right? Although that is the case, although both are good for growing, that's not the only thing that is at play here, guys. You know what I mean? So the next category here is going to be audience quality. So value-based niches are going to garner a much higher quality audience than entertainment-based niches. So entertainment-based niches are typically more like surface level. They're just there to entertain you, and you're not necessarily attracting a specific like ideal sort of audience for your brand, right? It's just, you know, for a meme page, for example, there could be like a 12-year-old kid who's on his iPad following meme pages, as well as like some 75-year-old grandma who doesn't even know how Instagram works following a theme page, right? So since it's a meme page, and since it's very sort of broad and surface level and just there to entertain, you're not really attracting any specific type of audience, and that's not a good thing, right? Whereas with a value-based niche, the type of content that you're posting is going to attract a very particular type of audience or avatar, and that way you have a lot of people, or you're going to be growing a brand where all these people are interested in the same sorts of things, and they're following your brand because they resonate and they value what you're posting, right? It's a big, big difference. And that leads into the next point, which is monetization opportunities. So when you do that, once you grow an audience that's actually loyal and have things in common, it's just going to open the door for a lot more monetization opportunities compared to the entertainment-based niches, right? So again, the meme pages, the car crash pages, the, catching your girlfriend cheating type pages, all these are just entertainment. And because of that, the audience quality is not that good. And because of that, the monetization opportunities are very restricted and limited. You're pretty much only limited to like promos and shout out deals. And you also won't be able to charge as much for them, considering the audience quality is a lot lower and less specific, right? Whereas with value-based niches, you're pretty much, you have the door open to any possible monetization opportunity there is on Instagram, whether it's selling your own products or services, whether it's affiliate marketing for other products or service, whether it's promos, shout outs, whether it's creating a newsletter, any monetization opportunity that there is on Instagram, the door is opened if you're in a value-based niche, whereas an entertainment-based niche, you're restricted, okay? And the next category here is credibility and trust. So value-based niches just overall are a lot more credible, they're a lot more trustworthy, and it's just a lot more of a brand presence. Whereas with entertainment-based niches like meme pages, for example, I don't think anyone's really going to trust a meme page with their money. You know what I mean? It's just, it's there for entertainment. It's not there for you to trust and to potentially buy from, right? And lastly is going to be sustainability. So the reason value-based niches are sustainable is because of all of these reasons that I just went over here. And then the reason that entertainment-based niches aren't sustainable is because of these reasons here. It's not cutting it, right? Like I said, Instagram theme pages is a long-term sort of game here. And if you're building a brand that has no credibility or trust, limits your restricts your monetization opportunities, has a lower quality audience, then like I said, you might be able to grow and get some good following, but you're really going to be limited and it's not going to be a long-term thing for you. Whereas this is a lot more sustainable when you're in a value-based niche. Okay? So this is sort of the breakdown as to why value-based niches are more superior to entertainment-based niches. Okay? So now I'm going to get into the actual list itself for the 7 most profitable Instagram theme page niches in 2025. And for all 7 of these, I'm going to tell you the niche, and then I'm going to show you an already existing theme page that's performing well and growing within that niche. Okay? So first up on the list is motivation. So a lot of people watching this might think, oh, of course, that's obvious. Motivation is a good one. But you'd be surprised. I've heard from a lot of people that they believe that this niche is oversaturated and that there's no room to grow and it's really difficult to grow. And although that is true to a degree, it's because they don't understand this. Motivation is a broad umbrella niche, right? And there's lots of people who go into Instagram, they create a theme page and they just post general, basic, simple motivation content that doesn't separate their page from anyone else's page. You know what I mean? They're just a commodity in the motivation niche. Whereas if you understand that if you go into a sub-niche of motivation, like boxing motivation or celebrity motivation or rappers motivation, etc., if you go into a certain type of motivation, there's a lot less competition and there's a lot more room for you to grow and to get the benefits from growing within that niche. Okay? So now I'm going to show you a motivation theme page. That way you could get a better idea of what they look like, how they're branded, etc. All right? So this is one of my newer students. He's actually grown around 10K followers in just under a couple weeks, which is pretty good. And this is his theme page here. So as you could see, just from these reel covers, he's not just posting general motivation like a lot of people do. He's found a specific sub-niche, a unique angle that he's approaching with this page that has been working quite well, right? And that is like the boxing sub-niche. And particularly, Conor McGregor has been performing exceptionally well. So if we click on these videos, you'll see that there's overlays of Conor with him speaking. You'll see in a second here. So he's speaking, and then there's text that comes up on the screen. There's like a deep sort of background music. I know you can't hear it right now. And then there's like a little watermark at the bottom of the screen. All right. And if you just click through his reels, they all have a very similar sort of look. So you could tell that, he understands branding and he knows how to make his page look professional and clean. All right. And yeah, this is his theme page. So this is an example of a motivation theme page that is growing and doing well in the market. All right. So next up is going to be the religion/God/Christianity niche. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to show you some more pages within this niche. So here is one. This is also my student. His name is Brandon. He's approaching the 500K follower mark. And this is his page here. So as you can see, it's got like the black and white reel covers. It's a very black and white themed page. And if you just click on the reels, it's very simple. It's just sort of someone speaking, the text coming up on the screen, and then with the watermark in the background and with some, emotional music in the background. And all of these reels are like preachers. They're particularly African American as well. That's what he's found works best for this page. And yeah, they're all talking about God. They're all preaching the Bible, talking about faith. And there's a demand for this type of content. People want to feel uplifted. They want to feel inspired. They want to feel like they're being brought closer to God. And pages like this, who are able to fulfill that demand, reap the rewards, right? So he's been able to grow very, very well. He's getting tons of views, tons of followers, and that's what you guys want. So this is also a very viable niche, is the religion/God/Christianity. There's also another page here that I'll show you. It's another student of mine. His name is Colin. And you'll see that the content is relatively similar. So this is, George. He's a popular, podcast person who talks about God and his religion. So you'll see that it's a very simple style, sort of a nice gray filter. The text comes up on the screen. He's got the watermark there, and then there's some emotional music in the background or some deep music. So yeah, here are just a couple examples of some good pages that are growing within this niche. And next up is going to be the finance niche. So this is another solid niche that, a lot of people don't necessarily think about when it comes to niches. But there's lots of growth potential in this niche. People want to become educated on finance, receive tips from people who are doing a lot better financially than they are. And it attracts a high quality audience, people who are interested in money, finance, investing, etc. So here's another theme page that's in that niche. This is my student Peter. And yeah, this is his page here. You can see it's nicely branded. And if you click on the content, it's very, very simple. This is Grant Cardone. He's known to talk about He's known to talk about money, finance, investing, etc. And yeah, so you see the text coming up on the screen. He's got the little watermark here, and it's just like a clean video with some overlays in the background, right? And then he's got his username here. So it's a very simple page, and there's lots of room to grow in this niche as well. All right. And number 4 is going to be business/entrepreneurship. So this is another really solid niche. Again, it's obvious that people are interested in business and building their own business, entrepreneurship, wanting to get advice, mentored by others who have done it. And here's an example of this page. This is not my student, but this is what his page looks like. So he's making feed posts as well as posting reels as well. And you'll see that this is a Shark Tank pitch here. This is Dave Ramsey, sort of finance, money, business guru guy who has a podcast. Steve Jobs. So you can see that, this guy's just posting content that relates to business, that people who are interested in business would resonate with. And he's posting reels that get crazy engagement and views, and posts that get crazy engagement and views. So this is another very viable niche that is pretty lucrative, to be honest, that you could grow a page in. Okay. Number 5 is going to be Stoicism. Okay. So this is an example of a Stoicism page. So this guy, you could see he's taken the angle of like the vibrant anime type content style. Um, so there's a stoic sort of quote on the screen with a little anime background, and then he sort of switches it up a little bit with, having a little quadrant of content there. And this is just overall what his content looks like. He's found a little unique angle that's worked for him, and he's managed to, do really, really well in it. I mean, he's getting hundreds of thousands of views every single video. So that just shows that something's working here, right? So this niche is very viable, and I've seen lots of pages grow within the Stoicism niche as well. Number 6 is going to be the cinematic niche. And here's an example of a page that posts cinematic content, this page by Maximize. This is an example of what the content looks like. The only thing with this one is that it's a lot tougher to grow a page in this niche just because of the sort of skill barrier that is needed to edit these types of videos. You'll see in a second, but it's a lot tougher to edit videos like this, for example, with the overlays and the fancy text that comes up like this. It's just a little bit trickier. It takes a lot longer. So that's the only drawback to this niche. But because of that, there's less people who know how to do it and are willing to do it, which means that there's less competition, which means that it's a very good niche to grow in. So that's why you see this guy getting hundreds of thousands and millions of views every time he posts, because it's good, high quality content that not a lot of people are making because it's a little tougher to make. But very good niche to make a theme page in. And if you're able to make this type of content, or if you're passionate and interested in cinematography, and if you like these types of edits and you want to make them for yourself, then this is a good option for you to go with as well. Okay. And lastly, number 7 is going to be the old money niche. So this is what an example of the old money niche looks like. This is probably one of the biggest pages in the niche. It's called High Society. And yeah, he posts a combination of feed posts as well as reels that are just old money based. They have to do with like watches or anything that people who have money, specifically old money people, would find interesting and engage with, right? So yeah, he's found a unique angle that's working really, really well for him, and he's doubling down on it, rightfully enough. And this niche is pretty big with the feed posts. So you'll see that a lot of them are feed posts, and it's like slideshows, essentially. You just click through it. A lot of them are sort of, how do I say? They have some nudity in it, which is kind of interesting. I think that just grabs a lot of attention. So if we scroll up here, nudity, nudity. Yeah, it's a bit interesting, but it works, right? So that's just a pattern that I've seen, but it works. And this is a good niche to grow in. People want to see this stuff, and again, it attracts a very, very high quality audience. Okay. And yeah, that is all 7 of the most profitable niches to grow theme pages in 2025. So hopefully you get some inspiration from this video. If you're having trouble picking your niche and end up choosing one of these. So like I said, of course, there's other niches out there, and you want to pick one that you have a personal interest in or are passionate about. But here are the 7 best from my research and from my opinion. But at the end of the day, as long as you find a niche that fits this criteria, it has growth potential, it attracts a high quality audience, there's monetization opportunities that are available in that niche, as well as the niche allows you to establish credibility and trust and is sustainable, then it's a good niche to go in. But these are the 7 most profitable, most potential niches that I've found. Okay. So yeah, hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for staying to the end. I hope you found it valuable. And as always, if you have any ideas, YouTube ideas that you want me to cover in the future, things that you would find valuable, just drop a comment in the comment section below and I'll take a look. And there's a good chance that I actually might make a video to it. So yeah, again, thank you for staying till the end, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.